Hey guys, welcome back to Michelle Crochet. I'm Bree, and today we're going to talk about stuffies, plushies, amigurumi, whatever you call them. We're going to talk about it, and I just want to share with you like some new thoughts I've had in my journey with crochet, and specifically amigurumi stuffy plushie. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today, I just kind of want to like ramble a little bit about like where I am in my amigurumi crochet journey, because I've always found amigurumi to be like one of the most challenging things I've ever tried. For me, like I just get that perfectionism going in my head, and like it seems like something is always just not quite right. Like when I first started learning to crochet and I wanted to make like a little stuffed animal thing, like you could always see like the polyfill. So you'd have like this perfect example. I made this like taxidermy like deer head, and I was like so proud of it. It was like a full size, like deer head, like you'd see it mounted on somebody's wall. And like I stepped back from it after getting the main part done, and here it's like full of like holes. Like you could just like see right into it because like my stitches just weren't tight enough. And like I was trying at the time to convert like from like UK terms to US terms. And so I think that I didn't understand that there was a difference. I think I was just like crocheting. And so like it was a disaster. Like I wish I had a picture of it to show you because it was really bad. And that was like so discouraging to me. And then like as I got farther, it's just like I've always found like when I put the eyes in, they're a little askew, or like if it has ears, like one will be like a little bit more forward than the other. And I've always been like really hard on myself about that. And I always like, I've always felt like I'm just like, it's not my strong suit. So lately though, I got into listening, like fell down this rabbit hole of listening to like people on YouTube talking about like crocheting, like different plushies and things like for markets. Specifically, like the one that really jumps out and I really got into was Katie's Celestial Homebody. Like if you've seen any of her videos, like she's kind of quirky and fun. And she like, her videos are kind of on the longer side, which I kind of like because I don't know anybody personally who crochets. And so for me, it's kind of nice to just feel like I'm chilling with my friend and we're working on a project together. I mean, she's not always like working on a project in the videos. She does like a variety of like, she shows like her different makes, and like she does like yarn hauls and shopping videos. Like she does a nice variety, but it's like I don't have anybody in my life that I go yarn shopping with other than my husband, who is super helpful and stuff. But I mean, he doesn't crochet or knit, so it's not quite the same as like somebody who actually crochets. And like it's nice to just relax and be crocheting and just having, listen to somebody, talk about the same thing you're doing and enjoying. And I just really like that. And so, I've been seeing her make all these different things, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should, maybe I'd like to make a couple little things. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but I'm just going to dabble a little bit. So I have a couple of those things to show you today. And I thought I would just kind of show you like the progression and some of the other like amigurumi things I've made over the years. Now, I will say that part of the stuff I have, like maybe was from a kit. Some things I have a pattern. If there is a pattern, and I can share that with you, like a link so you can get the pattern, I will do that in the description. Some things are going to be paid. Some things are going to be free. It's just going to be a variety of stuff. So if there's something specific, like I share, like I'm going to try and put the pattern in. If not, that means I either didn't have a pattern or I'll try and like give you a heads up on that. And if there's something I missed, please call me out in the comments because I want to make sure that I give you all the information. So without further ado, let's just kind of jump into like some of the things I've made. Now, if you've been here for a minute, you know that, I was making some like little amigurumi, and this is one that definitely like made me feel a little discouraged. This is a little Rudolph, and I got him in like all the materials and everything in a kit. And actually, if you go back a little bit, there is a video where I do like an unboxing and kind of review. And if you haven't noticed yet, he only has 3 legs because there wasn't enough yarn to finish him. Which, when something like that happens, like when I first started buying like crochet kits, or I've been gifted them, like I would feel very discouraged. I would think I did something wrong and it would just always bother me. But I have since found out after doing like a lot of different kits that it's not always user error. And I mean, I've opened some pretty terrible kits before. Like if you go back a few videos, you'll see. That was a good one. Now, this one was from a kit from Dollar Tree, and it was like $1.25 tree, and it had everything in it, and it came out nice. I mean, but when I look at it though, I mean, I can see that, he's not quite perfect. And I mean, it's something that I think you have an eye for and you have to work on. But he's pretty good. And this one here, this is a little unicorn, also came from one of those type of kits. And this one came out nicely too. It's pretty bad though that the Dollar Tree kits came out better than the like more expensive, like kind of like more name brand, character. Yeah, that's kind of sad. But I digress. So a couple videos back, I talked about this, and I love this Fiji Mermaid. This was one that it worked up really quick. The instructions were great. The pattern was great. There was a nice amount of like pictures to really be able to know what you were doing, even if like you were kind of newer to crochet. And I mean, I like the way the hands came out and the mouth, the little jaw. The details and the fins. This was like a really nice pattern. And this one's one I definitely recommend. I will make sure to put it in the description because this is one of my favorite things I made. And when this came out so well, it kind of inspired me to like start, like maybe Amigurumi's not that hard. Now this one I made a good while back, like when there was the eclipse, and I thought it'd be fun to make this alien, and I really liked the alien. I mean, I think his hands are perfect. Now, with this, I had like black felt that I cut out, and like I'm really pleased with like his eye placement and the shape. And I think that it is so, like, the details on this are so good. Now, one thing that is not perfect on it is like his head's more floppy than it should be. And there's like wire and stuff in here, but I think I should have like maybe put an extra wire because his head's a little bit more floppy than I'd like. But I love that he is posable because he's got wires. I like to keep him in his like crisscross applesauce and peace. But the things that I made lately, so those are things from the past. Here are the things I currently made. Now, I thought that when I saw Katie from the Celestia Homebody, this is not her pattern, but it's like a pattern that like she was talking about. This little gummy bear. Now, this was quick, easy, simple. It's got these bobbles for the ears and the hand, the arms and the legs. And like, it's made out of blanket yarn. And so you would, like, unless you grabbed it and squished it, you wouldn't even know that this isn't even stuffed. Like, I haven't even stuffed this one yet. It just, because it's blanket yarn, it's, heavier. It just kind of sits out. Now, I almost think you could put it as like a finger puppet. But I'll probably end up stuffing and then, closing it up eventually. But this was like super easy. This I got from like a pattern that was shared for free on somebody's Instagram. I'll try and make sure I put a link into that. And then I made this Nessie, and I really thought this was cute. This was a free pattern also, I'll have to share. And like I did, instead of doing like safety eyes, I just kind of like did the embroidery kind of thing. But I mean, you can see if you look at this eye and then you look at this eye is like a little bit smaller. And I think I'm being way too hard on myself. And something like, since I've gotten into amigurumi lately, it's just like, even though the pattern is written by somebody else, it's still your project and you have that creative control. So like I did my flippers a little bit different. Like instead of, I don't remember how they said to do them because this was a couple weeks ago. But I went ahead and I like crocheted circles, folded them in half, and then crocheted the circles like in half. And then I sewed them on that way. And I like the look it gave better. Now, I think this is super cute. And I mean, these are things, I didn't go out and buy any yarn for, that I just had like the yarn sitting around. And then, let's see, I guess this is probably my last thing, I guess. have you seen that game where it's like a bottle of water, it's like halfway full, and like you flip it and you try and get to land, you know, like straight up and down? Like I saw somebody have one of these fish, and like you toss the fish and then you want it to like land so it's like straight up and down. Okay, well I probably can't do it on camera because my camera's probably too close for me to be able to do it. I don't have a flat surface here, but you get the idea. Well, this I thought was super cute, and it's kind of fun, and you know, it's like, it's a fairly easy game that like adults, kids alike can play. And like I followed the pattern for the most part until I got to the tail. Then I kind of did my own thing on the tail, but I think this came out well. And like I said, you know, like I'm trying to be less critical of myself, because like this eyeball, I think if you looked at it, it's a little bit like I did a little bit more loosey-goosey, and this one's a little tighter, so it looks like it's smaller, even though it's the same number of times I put the yarn through. And I just, you know, I've really come to this conclusion, and this is kind of the main point of this video, is that like our faces aren't perfect, animals' faces aren't perfect, like whatever you're making, like it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I think almost like some of these things where, you know, where their eyeballs may be a little askew or whatever, like this one, the hair isn't perfect, and like it's still good. Like it's still cute. You still know what it is, still a Fiji mermaid. And I just think that I'm being too hard on myself. And I think that that's kind of what has discouraged me from really getting into stuffies. And these have brought me so much joy. I mean, obviously, you know, they're not going to be played with like a kid would play with them and I love them that way. But I like just seeing this sitting over my table and looking at it. I mean, and I could have even, if I'd been thinking about the time, I could have put like a wire in there so that I could have like had it in different poses. And I'm super happy. Like I've finally hit this point where, you know, it's like, it's string and a stick practically, you know, like it's not that serious. And I mean, unless something is really crazy, like crazy off, like there's an eyeball here and like one over here, I mean, it still, you know, gets the point across and it still looks good. And I think that as crocheters, sometimes, you know, you see all these like pictures of things that are just so beautiful and everything is styled just right in the picture. And I mean, we're at a point where half the time it's AI, it's not even real. And the ones that are real, like the people put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think that's awesome, but it doesn't mean that my work isn't as good as theirs. It just, mine is a little different. It's a little unique. And I mean, there's something about being unique and different that there is major beauty in that too. And I hope that like if whatever you're making, if it's stuffies, amigurumi, if you're making wearables, blankets, whatever, I hope you're not too hard on yourself. And I hope that you see the beauty in all of it. And I hope that, I mean, I like to believe that people from the beginning are not that hard on themselves, but I just think it's human nature. Like we want to just do the best that we can. We want things to be perfect. And that doesn't always work out. And I think that it's okay that it doesn't. And I hope that wherever you are in your journey, I hope you have peace and happiness. And I hope that your stuff is perfect to you and everybody around you knows how perfect it is because you made it and you worked hard at it. Anyways, I'm going to get off my rant about it. I just wanted to share that with you as, you know, here I am coming back to YouTube. And I mean, that's it for this week. I'm excited and I just wanted to share a few things. So until next time, take care.